Christianity is not a religion about God, it's a relationship with God. In my junior theology course, we are talking about ethics in class right now. This unit is all on ethics. And just a quick review, I define ethics to my students as a bridge between human ontology and human teleology. That is, ontologically, if we know what we are, and teleologically, if we know what we ought to be, or what we should be, or what we want to be, there should be some sort of a guiding principle or principles that can help to bridge that gap. The gap between ontology and teleology then is ethics. Of course, in Christianity, we understand that our ontology is transcendent and our teleology is transcendent as well, at least transcendent in origin, as we are made in the image and likeness of God, Imago Dei. Therefore, in order to bridge the gap between our transcendent ontology and our transcendent teleology, we need a transcendent ethic, or namely, the phrase that we use is just objective morality. We are talking about this, though, in the 21st century, where there is a large percentage of the population has more of what's called a moral relativist perception of ethics. That is, simply put, and I talk about this with my students, simply put, moral relativism says that there is no objective reality to morality. There's no objective morality or no objective reality to ontology or teleology even. And because of that, we get to create, or we have the freedom to create our own ethics, our own moral systems. The argument that I make with my students is that if there is no such thing as objective truth to our ontology as humans, then that opens up the door for anyone to define humanity in any way that they want to. I don't go into it too much with my students, but it's worth saying right here, if our definition of ontology and teleology is up to us, then we can freely choose to say this human being means this and this human being means that, and that creates inequality in a lot of ways. Contrary to popular belief, the solution to inequality is not giving everyone the freedom to make up their own morality. The only way that we can be truly equal as humans is if we have some sense of a transcendent or objective reality to our ontology and our teleology. If that is true, that our ontology and teleology is transcendent or objective in origin, then that also means that the bridge between them must be objective. That is, ethics must be objective. We don't get to decide ethics. We don't get to define it necessarily. There must be someone or something outside of the human experience, namely God, who can reveal to us those ethics. I tell my students that ultimately it's about equality. It's about the complementarity of human beings to each other, and the only way that we can really learn to treat each other equally and with love is by following a transcendently given or revealed sense of ethics. So that's in Christianity. We understand that is Jesus. It's the teachings of Jesus. It's the Ten Commandments. It's the Beatitudes, among other things. But we use reason to logically deduce that there must be objective reality, and then we use faith to access that objective truth. It's a little bit complicated, but if I can get students to understand the logic behind moral relativism, and also the potential, or at least what I argue is the lack of logic to moral relativism, then that's good. That's the goal for this section. The next class we will be talking more about freedom and what freedom really is.